All right, gang. So tonight is my final night in Belgrade, Serbia, and I'm exhausted. Today has been a crazy day. The weather has absolutely sucked. It's been raining here for like a week, and today I was trying to get taxis. I had to check out of my apartment and get over to a hotel because I'm spending the night in a hotel for the last night that I'm here. And it was crazy because it was raining and it was so busy and there was so much traffic. I was on the taxi apps like over and over again. You could not get a taxi on all of, and I tried all of them. I was on Pink Taxi. I was on, was it Yander? I can't remember the one that starts with a Y, but I was on all of them. I couldn't get in a taxi. I mean, it was like over and over, and I had to move my luggage and I had to do it twice. And it was just nuts. It's wet, it's cold, and it was just so frustrating on there to get a taxi. And when I got to the hotel, I had to make a run back to grab the rest of my stuff and to check out of my apartment with my landlord. And I asked the hotel, you know, can you call me a taxi? I'm not able to get the apps because they've got direct contact with them. And they're like, there's no way. I've been trying to get taxis for people for hours and they're just too busy. It's raining, the traffic's busy, and it was crazy traffic out there today. It's more so than I've seen in a while. So, you know, Belgrade's normally a very, very walkable city, and plus the buses, so people take buses or they walk, and you don't have the situation where they're actually, taking taxis everywhere. Even I'm mainly walker. I do take the buses, rarely use a taxi in this town. So anyway, really frustrating on the last day I was here, but hey, it's par for the course. It's part of traveling. So I've got to leave. So this video is going to be about basically my final thoughts on Belgrade. The reason I have to leave, I get 90 days in this country, and then I have to spend 90 days out of the country as a tourist. And so my 90 days are up, and I have to leave, and I'm going someplace very warm. I've decided to take a break from winter this year and have a vacation, and I can come back to Europe in the spring and to Belgrade. So anyway, so I've got like basically 5 final thoughts on Belgrade that I kind of want to share with you guys. I'll try to keep this video short. I hope it doesn't run over. Like I say, I'm tired. It's been a long day. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning right now, and I got to fly out in the morning. But I thought it was important to make this video. So yeah. So, all right. So point number 1 is Belgrade was full of pleasant surprises for me. I've made another video on that, on what my surprises were. You can go watch that. I'm not going to rehash those here. But, you know, food, all kinds of great things that I was not expecting about Belgrade. So you can watch that video and you can see what those surprises were. But I kind of want to sum up what my experience was here and why they were surprises. I always wanted to come to Serbia. I wanted to come to Yugoslavia before before Serbia was its own country and not just a republic within the country of Yugoslavia. But I did very little research about Belgrade before I came here. I mean, I could have got on the internet. I could have found out every single place to go, what it was like, but I didn't want to do that. And the reason was, years ago, before the internet, or at least before I had access to the internet, I lived in London, England. And so when I went there, basically I had what's called a fooders book that told you about it. And that was it. That was all the information I had about London. And I was able to go out and discover the country of, well, the city of London plus the country of England and the United Kingdom without any preconceived notions based on the internet or what I saw or some YouTube video. And I really enjoyed that experience. And because I had wanted to come to Serbia for so long, I really wanted that to kind of be, how do I call it, maybe a virgin experience on there, to where I was seeing everything with my own eyes for the first time and not living it through what some other YouTuber had seen. So a lot of the videos and stuff that you'll see on my channel is me reacting to places I got no clue that are famous, or famous restaurants. So after I would eat at these places, or after I would go to these museums or these things, I would look them up online and find out. And then I could go back and I could enjoy that experience. But I wanted the first time impressions of that without any preconceived notions. So I know it seems like I was bumbling around like a nut at times, but I really wanted that firsthand experience and wanted to share it with you so that y'all could see that and see somebody coming to, especially the Serbian viewers that I had, see them coming to their country and what the first impressions are without anybody telling you anything about it on there. So that's number one. Number two, the people in this country have been so amazingly helpful. Now, the Serbian people are very closed off. At first, they're very serious on there, but once you get to know them and if they like you on there, they will open up, and anything that happens at that point is absolutely genuine. There are no fake smiles here in this country. If they don't like you, they're just going to ignore you, or by God, they're going to tell you they don't like you. So if they're helping you, or if they are engaging you in conversation, it's because they actually appreciate you or they like you. And they have been so helpful to me for the most part. Even on my YouTube channel, places that I've gone, I've had so many incredible comments from people that watch me from Serbia. I've had, since I've been here, about 20% of the views that I've been getting on my YouTube channel have been from Serbia, which is a lot, but the majority of the comments that I've been getting in Serbia have been from Serbians saying, hey, you need to see this, or hey, here's the history, or maybe you didn't see this museum over here, it was right around the corner, or go eat at this place, or go to this bakery. And those comments have been fantastic, and I have followed those, and I appreciate so much the information that you guys have given me that have contributed to those comments, because I've seen stuff, because I wasn't looking everything up, that I would not have seen, but I trusted the folks that were in my comments because I felt that they were trying to get me to see the best of the city in Belgrade. So that was number two, just the helpfulness of the people. They really have been wonderful. They really, really have. And I'm looking so forward to coming back and exploring the rest of the country. All right, so number three, using Belgrade, the city itself, as a home base to explore Europe. Now, there's basically three types of travelers. I kind of gone into this in other types of videos. You have, nomads, and that's people like me that go into a place, they slow travel, they spend a month, 2 months, 3 months, in my case, 3 months in a country, because we want to see that, we want to immerse ourselves in the culture, we really want to get to know that place. The second type of traveler is just your tourist, somebody coming through for a week, 2 weeks, whatever. And then the final one is the person who stays long-term, such as an expat. And so I may go back and do some videos on this as far as each of those thoughts in Serbia. This is just the basic breakdowns on that. I think during normal times, when this is not like as nuts as it is right now, using Serbia as a home base so that you can visit the region, not just Serbia itself, but all of the surrounding countries, because they have a great bus network here. You got flights out of Nikola Tesla Airport going to all over the region with Air Serbia. Great airline, really affordable flights flying around there. That it's a good home base to stay for 90 days and fly out or take buses like I've done and explore the region. Now, during this time, it's not been so good. Like I said, I may make a full video on this of why it's not so good right now. And that's basically because of the tests you have to take to get back into the country. Because you're looking at anywhere between, depending on what country you're coming from, anywhere between $32 US dollars and 9,000 dinar or 90 US dollars just to get back in every single time that you come back into the country. So if you're hopping in and out 5 or 6 times, that's $500 just hopping back in and out of the country if you're going to go explore for 4 or 5 days in one country and 4 or 5 days in the next. So it's not been a good location for that purpose during this time. Normally, when you don't have that, you've got very affordable bus routes to all over the Balkans and to neighboring countries. These are really cool buses, very fine buses, very clean. I come from the United States of America. Our buses suck. They absolutely suck. I wouldn't ride on one anymore at this point in my life where I'm at. These are great. Clean, modern, very comfortable, by the way. So they're really, really good bus system. And they've got that going for them. Much more so, by the way, than the bus systems in the neighboring countries. I like some of the neighboring countries, but they don't have the bus system that Serbia does as far as the Serbian-based buses that go out of the country and come back in. So that's my thoughts as far as that. As far as tourist goes, hey, if you want to come to a place that's open, that's got great nightlife, that's got amazing food, history, things that you can see, this is a place. If you want to come for 2 weeks, you're crazy not to come to Serbia. It's absolutely open. There's stuff to do all the time here. Now we're heading into winter, so it may not be as good. I've never lived here during winter. I'm obviously leaving during winter, but I still think it's a great place to come as a tourist for if you're just coming for a few weeks to spend your vacation. And as far as expats, again, I'll probably do a video on that because I really think that Serbia is a good place if you're wanting to have a long-term home base or if you're wanting to live in southeastern Europe on there. I think this is maybe the very best option, at least out of what I have seen so far in southeastern Europe. Okay, so number 4, issue about coming back here. Okay, I have to leave for 90 days. Honestly, if it were up to me at this point, I would probably stay at least another month. I really don't want to do winter, but if it weren't winter, if we had a long extended fall, or if I was here during the spring, I would stay if I was allowed to. I have not been able to see as much of the country as I wanted to because I really fell in love with Belgrade, and there was so much to do. And it's not just the city center. It's if you go over to New Belgrade, if you go to some of the outlying areas of the city. I guess they're technically different municipalities, but they're still within the city. There's just so much to see here in the city, and I spent 3 months here. And again, I was seeing new things all the time. I was having new experiences. There was tons of different great restaurants here, and so I wasn't able to explore the outside of Serbia, or the outside of Serbia outside of Belgrade. And I'm very aware that a capital city does not necessarily represent a country, and that things can be so different outside there. So that's my huge regret as far as this trip, is that I did not get out and see as much of Serbia as I could have or should have. I spent way too much time in the city, but I really fell in love with this city. And I wish I could stay longer. That's all I got to say. I really like Belgrade. I like the people that I've met here, and the friendships. I really do. All right, so final point. And it's, will I come back to Serbia? And it's absolutely yes. So I'm going away. I've got to stay out of the country for 90 days. I plan on coming back to Europe in the spring, and I plan on coming back and looking into, I need a home base in Europe. I'm going to have a home base in another part of the world, but I want to have a home base here as well for 3 to 6 months out of the year that I can travel around. So I'm looking at that. Serbia is very interesting as far as the options here. It really ticks a lot of the boxes that I'm looking for. So I'm going to come back and look at that. You can get residency here if you buy a piece of property, a house, and you have to be able to live in it. It's got to be, something you intend to live in or that is habitable. But you buy an apartment, you buy a house, you're limited with agricultural land, but I'm not a farmer, so that's not an issue. So I am thinking about that when I come back, and I'm going to be looking into that. I've already talked to some attorneys here as far as that goes, and who knows? We'll see. It may be able to stay here longer the next time if that works out. So those are just my quick final thoughts on Belgrade. It's been a great journey, and I'm so tired. I wish I could probably go on and on about this, but I am so tired. Some videos probably ran over anyway, but those are my points as far as what my final thoughts are here tonight, getting ready to leave tomorrow. And just any of y'all here from Serbia, thank you so much for all the comments that you've given. They've been really helpful. I've seen things that I necessarily would not have seen, but for your comments on there, and some things that I've seen comments to, you won't see videos of, because I couldn't video it there because there was music going, or sometimes I don't want to violate anybody's privacy when I'm doing these videos. So if the camera's going to be on somebody too long, I just don't put that footage up if it's unintentional. So anyway, I have loved my stay in Belgrade. If you're coming as a tourist here, this is a great place to spend a holiday. I think I'll do some videos on those 3 different categories there. But anyway, I got to leave in the morning. I got a plane to catch, and I'm tired, so I'm going to go to bed. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with this rambling video. But those are my final thoughts on Belgrade, and I'll say good night.